I've seen this game around, and every time I read the title, I was like, what? The game has good review scores though, and I had a few people recommend it to me, so I decided to check it out. Now what really surprised me about Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion was that it wasn't just about him committing tax evasion. That's just a tiny part of the story. So the game begins with Turnip Boy getting his tax bill. He basically owes a lot of property tax to the government, which leads to Mayor Onion getting the deed to his house. And since Turnip Boy has no money, he becomes the mayor's personal assistant. So yeah, the mayor ends up giving him different errands so that he can get his house back. The game plays like an old school RPG with Zelda-like dungeons, so it was instantly familiar to me when I gained control of Turnip Boy. You get to explore town, talk to people, and do side quests that reward you with cute little hats for Turnip Boy to wear. Talking to all the townspeople was actually my favorite part of the game. Turnip Boy's world is filled with sentient fruits and vegetables that have quirky personalities, so some of the stuff they said was so out there that I didn't know what to expect at the start of every conversation. I also found it funny how the townspeople did all the talking, because Turnip Boy never actually says anything. He just kinda reacts with periods and exclamation marks. But yeah, if you like memes and internet humor in general, then I guarantee that the dialogue in this game is going to be hilarious. So apart from talking to food people, you'll be going around slaying enemies and solving puzzles. There are different items like boots and gloves to help with the puzzles, but the watering can is your main tool since it's used to grow watermelon and bomb plants. The bombs can be pushed towards enemies and block doors, while the watermelons are used to fill holes in the middle of paths. The puzzles were simple most of the time, so I never got stuck in one part of the game for too long. Now for killing enemies, Turnip Boy gets his own sword made out of soil for that stuff. I didn't think he would need a weapon to pay his taxes, but his world's apparently dangerous. It's filled with turnip-eating enemies like snails and other animals. It's easy to beat them though, you just have to go around stabbing them and dodging attacks. Turnip Boy doesn't have other moves, so you just have to spam those most of the time. I think the only time combat got interesting for me was during the boss fights. What's cool about them is you don't really need to stab the bosses over and over again until their HP is gone. You can deal increased damage by solving different puzzles in the room, and after the boss is finally beaten, you get a heart plant that gives you increased health for the next encounters. The game overall takes like 2 hours to complete, but there's a few more things that you can do post-game. Like if you haven't ripped up all the tax documents, you can get hints on where to find the rest of them. There's also this train game you'll unlock called Limitless Line. It plays like an endless roguelike, so you'll need to get as far as you can by beating enemies in each car and choosing upgrades for Turnip Boy. The enemies get harder the farther you get, so eventually they become way too tanky and powerful. The reward for killing bosses are blue tickets, which you can use to buy even more cute hats for Turnip Boy. And that's basically what the entire game is like, on the surface. I actually went into this expecting that it's just about a cute turnip trying to pay his taxes, but it turned out to be so much more than that. Like, I didn't think I would become so invested in the lore. Yeah, this game has lore and world building. I'd say that the world building was done really well too. The game has a lot of environmental storytelling that can be missed out on, all because of how quickly the game goes by. It seemed like it was going to be a quirky adventure at first, but after a while I was like, did that just happen? It's easy to shrug things off because Turnip Boy himself dismisses all the weird stuff happening in the story. He even contributes to some of the crazier parts of it. So yeah, he may look adorable, but he's a very chaotic character. I mean, the game already kind of hints that at the beginning, since Turnip Boy literally rips up any document that mentions taxes. But what made him even more disturbing later on is that he could have done or witnessed the most insane thing in this story, and he'd still go on with his life while having the same smiley face. So yeah, while the music and graphics of the game is adorable, it has quite a bit of dark humor. I recommend it if you want to play a short game with interesting lore and a story that's messed up when you stop and let everything sink in. It's out on every platform too. Let me know what you thought about the video, and thank you to my patrons at Patreon for supporting my channel. Oh yeah, I just found out that there's going to be a sequel to this game called Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. Again, what a title. I'm really curious how that's going to turn out though. But anyway, this is just a short video to start the year. Look forward to my next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.